Good morning to all JCI members, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to watch this video. My name is Wing Hong and I'm the host for today. Today, we are very honored to have one of our past presidents of JCI Kuala Lumpur, who was also the one of the national presidents, to be with us today to share his experience and his contribution in JCI. And we hope that through these sharing sessions, you can gain a better understanding of what JCI is. And to all existing JCI members, we also hope that this video will encourage, motivate and inspire you to grow your JCI career and journey further. Before we start, for the benefit of the non-JCI members, let me just give a quick introduction about JCI. So what exactly is JCI? JCI stands for Junior Chamber International. We are a global membership-based non-profit organization consisting of young active citizens aged between 18 to 40 years old. The mission of JCI is to provide development opportunities that empower young people to create positive change in their communities. In Malaysia, there are 73 local organizations to date, and JCI Kuala Lumpur is proud to be one of them. JCI Kuala Lumpur was formed in 1954, which makes us the oldest JCI local organizations in Malaysia. Through the outstanding leadership and performance over the last 67 years, we have been recently awarded with the most outstanding local organizations in JCI World Congress in 2019. Congratulations! So without further ado, let's get straight into today's topic, which is a sharing sessions by one of our many excellent past presidents of JCI Kuala Lumpur. Let us welcome the 1972 JCI Kuala Lumpur President and 1979 JCI Malaysia National President, JCI Senator James Lim.
Thank you very much. Let me congratulate KL JCs for the achievement being the #1 local organization in the JCI International, which we had never achieved before during our time. But to begin with, how I started to join JC's Kuala Lumpur. You see, when I was away working, as a young man, I used to travel a lot, and then working for a living. And during that time was difficult time to earn a living, so had to travel a lot. So finally, when I came back to Kuala Lumpur, before I came back, JCI Malaysia, JCI Kuala Lumpur used to organize Miss Malaysia, Miss Kuala Lumpur, Miss Selangor beauty contest. So when as a young man, when I saw that, I said, hey, that's an organization I should join. So I started to ask my friend, hey, do you know JCs? How do I join? So happened I met one of my classmates. He said, very easy, I'm a member. So you just need to come with me to the board meeting and then see whether it is an organization for you. So for me, it was Miss Malaysia, right? So after going with him to know more about JCs, then I begin to know it is not just JCI Malaysia or JCI Kuala Lumpur or Selangor, but it is more than that. It is actually self-development, leadership development organization. So I said, hey, that's the one precisely I want to join. Because as a young man just left school, you need to learn a lot of things, but we never had the chance to go to university, right? So this is a chance for us. So I attended the board meeting in 1965. They say, before we accept you as a member, you must attend a board meeting to see whether that's an organization for you, and we also want to see whether you are actually genuine to join us. So I attended, and it was in one of our JC's Kuala Lumpur, who was having his own office. So he let Kuala Lumpur JCs to use his office to have meeting. So I attended the board meeting. My friend, what is board meeting? I am not a board member. I'm only left school. Board it means directors and all those things, So must be something. So I attended. So when during the meeting, of course, the late Polly, he was very outspoken. And then during the meeting, before you speak, the chairman must recognize you. Then only you must raise your hand to speak. Okay, I said that is a procedure, I don't know. And then when he addressed Mr. Chairman, point of order, because they discussed something, and then he said point of order. I said, what is this point of order? Never heard before. So all these things intrigued me. So I thought, hey, this is something I need to learn. And this is an organization for me. So that's why I joined. Of course, I never thought about national president or KL president, let alone national, right? So my intention was to learn. So as you go along learning, and during that time, the JC International sent their vice president to give us training. Most of them were from Philippines or Australia or New Zealand. So when they gave us training on leadership and all those things, and I say, hey, it's free anyway. So I developed myself. I want to develop myself. Okay, so this is how I started to take up position as director of international, director of public relations. International was the first where I organized a fellowship with embassy. There were 5 embassies who hosted us, like American Embassy, Australian Embassy, New Zealand Embassy, Myanmar, Burma at the time, Burma, and then another embassy, I can't remember, but we had fellowship. So in India, ambassadors' residence, So this is where we started to get some of the members active. So from there we move on. Then of course, from then we begin to attend convention, and after attending convention, then you find, hey, it's very interesting. It's like politics. During convention, you are trading. In other words, before we went to convention, our KLJC used to say, we want to put up so and so as president, so and so as national president, and so on. So when we go there, we said, we must take this position, right? But the others are the trade-off. So at convention, you see, most of the presidents and start to discuss with each other to say, I want this. You support me because you want to get support from all the chapters to elect you. So okay, you take president, I take vice president, and I take treasurer and things like that. Okay, we agreed. Finally, after trading and all the things, we agreed. Then I think it was very interesting. You learn how to negotiate, right? So this is part of it. And then, of course, as you go on, you find there are challenges in that. To become KL president, you just don't walk in, you have got to fight, because at one, David Lai and Stephen Yap, they have got to campaign. One buy dinner, the other one have got the promotion material and give it to you, and then they say vote for him. You see, so that was very interesting. But of course, after the election, we all shake hands, and as part, that was the learning process. You see, so I don't know whether it's now having the same thing or not, right? Very interesting. So that's where I started to progress. Then there's a time when they say become VP, Vice President, and then later on, nobody, after Tili Naden, VT Naden was 71 President. After that, KLJC was not very strong already, because a lot of this, during that earlier times, we have got a lot of general manager even London Pacific Insurance. There was Tony O'Brien, the time he was the manager here, and we all organized project to raise fund. We all put our hands together to organize dinner and dance in the Great Hall in University Malaya, and we work until morning about 3-4 o'clock because everything we have to do ourselves. We have to take stock and whatever balance and so on. So very interesting. So that time was enjoyable, and we have fellowship night, and this fellowship night was very interesting. Well, of course, as I said, I can talk until tomorrow. But this is where it what you call encouraged me to move on. You see, right?
That's very interesting, Senator James. You mind to share with us what motivated or inspired you to become the JCI National President in 1979?
Well, before coming to JCI President of Malaysia, you see, the process during that time was JCI Malaysia as a national organization, and also then after that we changed to Malaysia, which did not include Sabah and Sarawak. And after we include Sabah Sarawak, before we become Malaysia, truly Malaysia, JCI Peninsular Malaysia was also a national organization representing in World Congress as national JCI Peninsular Malaysia. You see, then after that, because we had our convention, we invited JCI National President from Sabah and Sarawak to attend our national convention in Federal Hotel, and we were very lucky. George Chang of Sabah, he was the Sabah National President at the time. He attended our meeting. He came. He was sitting at the back, quiet, during the General Assembly. So after that, I approached him. So I introduced myself, and we got in touch. So I said I must try to get in touch with you so that we want to form Malaysia, JCI Malaysia, because now at national organization we go World Congress, Sabah National President, Sarawak National President, Peninsular Malaysia National President. So one country, three national presidents. So I said we should try to get together. He said he agreed. So we worked together with Singham. We try to get a constitution, JCI Malaysia constitution started with the help of V.T. Nathan, of course, as a lawyer. So I was the one who traveled to Sabah, Sarawak every year because of my work in my company. So I took the opportunity to volunteer myself to travel to Sabah, Sarawak. So that's why during that time in the early 70s, after 74 or so, until about 80, I travel every year, sometimes twice a year, and meet with all the LOMs, the chapter president and so on. That's why I know a lot of Sabah Sarawak JC. So this is where we started to talk about getting together, and then we worked the draft constitution. We discussed with George Chang, and also that time was Sim of Sarawak, but he was from Miri. He owned a bookshop, but maybe because I met him a few years ago in Miri National Convention. I met him. So anyway, we still talk, but he was not very keen. So until electing our national president, 1974, I think, 1981, I think, after me, he was the one national president of Sarawak. We started to discuss. So George, Alex, and myself, we started to negotiate, or not negotiate, actually, in a way negotiating, because from national organization to regional, suddenly from national president become regional already. Is a bit different. Why? Is because during that time, all the chapters there were 12 chapters in I think Sabah, and about 11 chapters in Sarawak, and about 11-12 chapters from Peninsular Malaysia. But the active one in Peninsular Malaysia was only a few. The others are more or less gone. So to get them together to attend National Convention was a difficult thing. You know why? If National Convention is to hold in KK, how many of this Peninsular Malaysia JC can send a delegate there? Even our own National Convention in Peninsular Malaysia was already a problem. Can you imagine, ask the chapter to go and attend? So we said, no, I think we better start off with regional. That means every region we have got about 5 representatives to attend the National Convention. So that 5 is easy to get, 5 or 6 I think. Then we all agree, we start off with regional. That means region will take care of their own region. Then I think after my year, the subsequent years, we all agree because we understand each other already. We know each other. So we say, okay, now we don't need the regional already. Now we need chapter directly affiliated to Malaysia. And that's where I think during Bob, and I don't know which year, they changed the constitution to this. So this is why the challenges to me and Singham and VT Nathan and Georgia is to get all the chapters together, to agree to form Malaysia. And because it's not easy. So that was the most challenging part, is to now to build relationship, so that we understand each other, and then we trust each other, then we don't have any doubt about each other. You can have Sarawak Convention, we will all come. Those who can afford. That's why eventually you have more delegates going. And now I think it's the position of national president. You have to fight for it. I understand. Yeah. So this is something which I am very proud to say that we started the ball rolling. Otherwise, nobody is going to start.
Okay, thank you for sharing, PNP Senator James. As you have mentioned, there used to be JCI Peninsular and JCI Sabah and Sarawak, and finally we have the JCI Malaysia as what we have today. So could you share with us what would be the most memorable experience that you have ever had when you were the JCI Malaysia National President in 1979?
Well, talking about memorable, I think the most memorable is, of course, to get all the 3 national organizations together to form as one, and then to get all the members to be one. That is most important, because I thought that was my most important job, and the most memorable is to get us together. That was the first step, because that is the most difficult step, is the first step.
Okay, that is interesting. I'm sure there will be various challenges that you faced when you were the national president after you have been elected. Would you mind to share with us what were the challenges and how do you manage to overcome these challenges?
Well, I think challenges now I cannot remember already. So many years have gone by. But as I said, the most memorable and things are to get the people together. That's a challenge, to get people together, to get all the 3 ROMs or national organization together is the most challenging job.
Okay. The final question to you, PNP Senator James. As a past President National of JCI Malaysia, do you have any wishes or final words of encouragement to all our JCI members?
Well, I think JCs to me is the most, to me is I learned a lot from JCs. Where even in my company, in fact, even my boss at the time, they say, you are the national president of JCI Malaysia. Well, that's good, man. Why? Because I learned from JC the meeting procedure, the leadership skill, you have got to do it yourself. You see, to learn the Robert's rule of the meeting, and also chairmanship and so on. A lot of things, and even how to promote, how to present things. You know, all these things I never dreamt that I would be able to learn in school, because in school they don't teach you. Even in company, nowadays only you talk about, they send you to courses, advanced courses or whatever. Otherwise, if you are not in that position, they won't send you. So you never learn. That means you'll be always stuck there. So that's why to improve yourself, I find that I was lacking in a lot of things. Not only speaking, but also leadership skill and chairmanship and so on. So therefore, like Dato Tan Yan Sin said, you know, if you know Dato Tan Yan Sin from Singapore, he was in KL Central Sugar Managing Director. He was very supportive of us. He told us, he said it's because of JCs that he learned how to speak English. And he was the one supporting JCs in KL and JCI Malaysia every time when he was Central Sugar MD. In fact, I still have Central Sugar's what they donated to us during convention, the briefcase and so on. You know, and also sponsors. But one thing he said, I will not give you money just like that, but you must earn it. You must work for it. So when government asked him to start a factory, what they call batik factory in I think Selayang side, he said, now KLJC, VT Nathan was our KL President. He said, okay, you organize the opening ceremony, the whole thing for us, including invitation and so on, right? Masters of ceremony and so on. After that, I'll donate money to you. So all the KLJC, we all went to help to organize from beginning until the closing. And that's how we learn. He said, that's why you learn. If I were to give you money and nothing, you don't learn. Now you organize, you know how the problems. You know, it's not something rosy, you know, you must face the problem, how to solve the problem. That's where you learn. If there's no problem, you don't learn. Right? If everything is smooth sailing. But now I see KL is fantastic. A lot of young people who are very well educated and very dedicated. And now you're, what you call, all the technology and so on, which we did never had. We always had to do by hand. Do you know that this JC buckle, do you know this was donated by Dato Tan Yan Sin as what you call our KLJC building fund. This was donated by Tan Yan Sin with his name there. I bought two to support the fund. I was the one who started last, so he donated. He said, I donate this. The money go to KLJC free. I can't remember how much, but that's where we started KLJC building fund. I think a lot of problems during that time, but we have a lot of things we learn from there also. Do you know that we moved office? How many offices? And that's where we learn how to organize things. Well, I think this is an organization where young people should join. When I say young people, irrespective of religion or education or background, I think we should all join to learn, to help the community. So this is a chance.
Thank you, PNP Senator James, for your invaluable and insightful sharing. And with that, we have come to an end of sharing session today. I hope all of you who are watching this video have benefited from these sessions in some way. To all JCI Kuala Lumpur members, we hope that through this video, you are more inspired by our past National President, Senator James, to continue to strive and create positive change to our communities. If you feel so, don't forget to hit the like button of this video to show your support to PNP Senator James. And for those who are not yet a JCI Kuala Lumpur member, if you are interested to know us more, please let us know and drop a message via Facebook Messengers, which is our JCI Kuala Lumpur official Facebook page, and we'll be in touch with you soon. Once again, thank you very much to our guest speaker for today, our 1972 JCI Kuala Lumpur President and 1979 JCI Malaysia President, JCI Senator, Past President James. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Bye bye.
Thank you.